What's up, rollers? This is Rollin' Dirty again, coming back with another video using the Sherman Max on the Ironhorse Trail. Now, I was here the other day. I made a video about it. You may have seen it. You'll note that it was cloudy that day, and now it's a beautiful sunny day here in western Washington, right at the end of fall and beginning of winter. This particular trail closes up on November 1st at the Snoqualmie Tunnel, which passes through the mountain. They gate that off and you can't get through it after that. And the reason for that is because it's largely unmaintained when the snow falls. So they don't keep it open to the public for risk issues. I understand. Anyway, I'm not going to talk for this whole video, but I just wanted to give you a look at what this trail looks like. Unfortunately, I'm holding my cell phone here and recording this footage, and the trail happens to be a lot bumpier here than in other parts. There's larger rocks and stuff, so apologies for the footage not being as stable. But I have another video coming out with footage further down this trail using the Insta360 X3 cam, and it does a little bit better job of stabilizing the footage. So hopefully you'll enjoy that. But for the time being, I'll let you take a look at this, and I'll just note that this is the first part of what I think will be a two-part video series over about 46 miles of travel on this trail that I did within a single day. So enjoy the footage. Like, comment, subscribe, please. And if you're looking to buy an electric unicycle, I've got a referral link in the description below that you can use to make a purchase. It doesn't cost you any more to use the link, but it does give me a little bit of a kickback and helps support the channel so I can keep making content. Also, if you've got a favorite trail that you like riding, or a place that you like to frequent on your unicycle or other electric vehicle, feel free to comment below. I'd be interested in knowing more about where you guys like to ride and what some of your favorite pastimes on a unicycle or scooter or e-skate or maybe one wheel are. Can I just say that the more I ride this Sherman Max, the happier with it I am. I mean, this thing is just a straight up solid performer. Not only is the battery great, it's just extraordinarily balanced. So I can ride this thing along this trail here at 30 miles an hour if I wanted to. And I'm not at all worried about my stability. I'm not worried about, the tire slipping out from under me because it's got the knobby tire. And it's just overall a good performer. I mean, I know people complain about the pedals being a little bit low. Maybe they are. I don't really take it. I don't really take it on trails to test that. Just because it's 85 pounds. But as far as a performer, this thing's just a beast. I mean, it's got the power, it's got the battery, it's got the stability, it's got the reliability. It's everything you want in a wheel, except maybe suspension. Now, I haven't ridden the Sherman-S yet. I don't know what that feels like, but I'm looking forward to it, and I'll probably buy one. I'll just qualify that by saying that the only thing that concerns me about the Sherman-S, check out these guys. Hey, these guys were, this is on the 29th of October, so these guys are out here in their Halloween costumes riding their bikes on the trail. I think that's pretty cool. It must be some kind of a family event. Whoever this is, if you're seeing it, I was impressed. Kudos to you for pulling that off and for getting your people together to do a nature ride on the trail in your Halloween costumes. That's cool. Anyway, back to the Sherman-S. The Sherman-S it fixes the pedal problem, obviously. It's taller. I think that as far as suspension wheels can go, I mean, you have to be taller, so I don't think there's much you can do about that. And I'm not sure it's negative. It may very well be a positive. The way that Veteran pulls these things off, I mean, they've just got... The Sherman was such a success that I've got to believe that they're going to do pretty well with the Sherman-S. I love that they're using a hydraulic suspension rather than an air-based suspension. I mean, I could have told you that from the onset that is just a very bad idea for a suspension solution. And as we're all finding out, I mean, if you've got an air-based suspension unicycle, I bet your arm's getting pretty tired from pumping that thing back up because it just does not hold the pressure. There's a lot of leak by on it. So you got to keep it pumped up. That's just that's just maintenance that I'm not interested in. I want a wheel that's as low maintenance as possible. I want, dude, check out these fall colors though. I mean, can you believe that? These fall colors are amazing. Look on the right side, look on the left here. These trees are just beautiful, the leaves. This was the perfect day. Look at that yellow tree, those yellow trees in the distance. I mean, amazing. With this backdrop, it's hard to beat. This was just an awesome ride on a perfect day. You know, it was chilly. This is up in the mountains, but you know, I dressed for it. It was awesome. Anyway, what was I saying? Back to Sherman-S suspension. I just don't want a wheel that's requires a lot of maintenance. I don't want to deal with problems, you know, that are a result of what appears to be hasty engineering decisions or poorly executed engineering planning, or what appears to be a lack of planning altogether. I'm just not interested in that, and my experience with the Veteran Sherman-S is limited so far, but the public experience with the Sherman overall, I think, is extraordinarily positive. Almost everybody I talk to says they haven't had any problems with them. They've never had to open up the case. They've never had to do any maintenance on it. It just rides out, and it does what you expect it to do for the way that it's proclaimed to have been built. And, you know, the Sherman Max is definitely all that. And I expect the S to be all that as well. And I wouldn't even be surprised if the first round comes out without any issues. I mean, that's just Veteran. I know they've had some issues in the past. I mean, don't get me wrong, they all have, but they've been limited. And I think they've learned from them. So I've high hopes that the first round of Sherman S's will be outstanding. And if they are outstanding, as I suspect they will be, I will definitely be ordering one, even though the pedals are higher. Well, maybe because the pedals are higher. I don't know. I think the stability of the standard Sherman and the what we call the OG Sherman and the Sherman-S definitely have something to do with the pedal height. The closer you are to the ground, it seems like the more stable you are. And you know, if I'm drawing on my experience from my V12 high torque, where I've got the pedals in the highest position, it's a smaller tire. It's pretty stable. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not unstable. It's just not the Sherman, you know. And I think that stability difference has to do with the pedal height. So I'm interested to see what the Sherman-S is like with the higher pedals. I think that it will probably be a little less stable than the OG Sherman and the Sherman Max, but I don't think that it will be something that's insurmountable. I think that it'll once I get used to it, I'll be able to ride it out just fine, and I'm certainly confident that I'll appreciate a little bit of dampening beneath my knees. I'm a bigger guy. I'm about 225 pounds, and You know, I'm riding this trail like upwards of 30 miles an hour sometimes over some of these rocks. And although I don't lose any confidence in my ability to keep the wheel upright or for me to stay on it, it's not exactly comfortable on my knees or lower back. So as a result, I've actually positioned my feet a little further back on the pedals, so that I can bend over a little further when I ride, so I can ride more of a crouched position that brings my back a little bit more level with the ground. And if I hit some of those larger bumps, it doesn't, I don't feel it in my back as a result, but I definitely feel it in my legs and my feet. You know, I think it's a little more strenuous on my feet because I've pushed the center of my foot a little further back on the pedal, which means I have to push harder on the ball of my foot in order to accelerate. That being said, it works out. I mean, I did 46 miles in a single day. It wasn't an issue. I could have done more if I'd had more sunlight and more battery. But I was running out of time, so I ended up having to call it quits. Anyway, guys, I'm going to let you finish out the video with a little bit of music here. Feel free to reach out to me in the comments. Any questions about the Sherman or my perspective on any of the other unicycles? I'm happy to share that kind of stuff. I will read the comments. I'm sure there aren't any at the moment, but I will read the comments, and I will respond to people who have questions. Anyway, appreciate you watching the video. Look forward to getting part 2 out here pretty soon, and it'll be using footage from the Insta360 X3. So please feel free to give me feedback on if the experience is different for you. All right, guys. I'm going to let the music take over from here. If you ever come to Washington, come ride with me.